Hey guys, in this tutorial I'll be talking about keys for MySQL. There are two types of keys, primary key and foreign key. But for now let's just worry about the primary key. Basically what a key is it keeps each entry in a database separated and unique. So you have a database to store all of your friends. So there's two entries. No, I'm just kidding. There's 500 entries and each one would be assigned a number. The first friend assigned a 1, second friend a 2. And there may be some gaps, so you may have the third friend a 6. It doesn't really matter. But by default, it'll auto-increment, which means it goes up by 1 each time. And the point of this is to keep each separate line or entry or row unique. So let's say you have a friend named John and then another friend named John. How do you know, like, who's who? Well, you can tell John is assigned a 5 and John is assigned a 6. So you can tell John number 5, oh, I know who that is, and then John number 6, oh, okay. So that's the point of a primary key. So, basically, here are all the features of a primary key. It's a number, auto increments, which means it goes up 1 each time. It is never null or blank, never has a blank entry, it'll always have a number. Never changes, because then what's the point? You'll get things confused. And it's unique, so no other entry can have the same primary key. A foreign key is actually just a reference to a primary key that's in a different table. So it just points to a different primary key. And the point of this is to keep everything relational. That's why MySQL is a relational database management system. So let me explain a little farther. Two tables. It doesn't really look like a table, but it's okay. Customers and then orders. Now we have a customer with the primary key ID of 1. So we have the primary key of 1. And then over here we have an order and it has a foreign key value. The foreign key value is who submitted the order. And it will have an entry of 1 because customer number 1 submitted the order. Now if a different customer, such as customer number 5, submitted it, then the primary key is 5 and the foreign key would also be 5. So this table will list the information for each person with a primary key. So 1 will be John or Jim. 1 will be John, 5 will be Jim. Then over here we'll list an order for each individual person. So then it'll have values across here. What they bought, a new pair of shoes for $70, order number 7,312. And then it'll have a foreign key to who bought it, or who submitted the order. Now the thing you need to know is every table should have a primary key, no matter what. So you have the orders. What you would have is an ID for each order. So you have the table, and then you have order ID. I used order number in the last thing, but it could be the same thing. The order ID will be like 7,000, whatever. So each time somebody buys something, it'll make a new entry. So across the row, entering what they bought, how much it costed, and then a primary key of order ID, such as 7,000. And then it'll list a foreign key to the available people of who bought it. So over here, we'll have all the people with a primary key listing their ID, and then over here it'll have a foreign key listing the primary key's ID. So if that's a little confusing, let's say I walk into a store. Let's just draw a picture because I like drawing. And I'm like, oh, I really like those shoes over there. And I like that pillow too. So, in here, we'll have an order with everything I bought. So I bought a pillow, and then I bought shoes. Now, I'm the 6,000th person to buy something from that store. So my order ID number is 6,000. But you see, I was the first person to ever come to this store and buy something. So I was actually the first person entered into their system. So I have a primary key of 1. Now, this is not the first thing I've ever bought in this store. This is a long time after the store has been established, a couple days, and there's already been 6,000 orders. So the foreign key, which references to me, a foreign table, would be 1. This is because I bought the shoes and I bought the pillow for the order ID of 6,000. So the 6,000th order is a pair of shoes, a pillow, and it's bought by the person with the primary key of 1. And this is a foreign key connection. I suck at writing.